And we're back! Time for this week's State of Trade in Star Citizen. I would like to apologize for the delay as PTU builds make trading a moot point. From here on out, you can expect a hiatus for State of Trade during PTU periods, as trade information gathered during those times is not beneficial. With that in mind, let's return to our scheduled programming. 3.62 recently came to live servers, resetting progress for all players. It was projected that the star of 3.62, the Origin 890 jump, would have some people using it as a high-priced hauler. However, the ship released with only 32 of its 484 SCU, putting it behind the likes of the Cutlass Black and even the Freelancer Miss. With many outlaw groups turning their attention to assailing 890 jumps and attritions no longer bypassing shields, traders have things easy for the time being. However, with 3.7 rumored to be entering Ivacati soon, some are still hesitant to invest a majority of their time into trading. And now a look at commodities. With the reset of progress for 3.62, all commodities briefly returned to their base pricing. In the metals market, a Greaseam returned to its base price of 22.5 before rising as high as 25 UEC around Crusader, as Daymar locations continue to struggle to meet demand. Titanium at Tram & Myers rose as high as 7.93 from its base price of 7.10. People interested in hauling titanium are urged to visit Ariel, as both outposts on the moon have ample supply and rarely see price fluctuations. Gold continues to hold steady near its base pricing of 5.4 UEC, with Daymar locations occasionally reaching as high as 5.8 UEC. Aluminum and tungsten see no changes. Legal Vice still struggles to carve out market share, as low demand curbs their middling profits. Distilled spirits continue to swing between their base price of 4.5 and a high of 4.73, while stems see no movement. The criminal underworld is still experiencing a slump as smugglers at Grimhex struggle to unload what little they can of illicit drugs. The low demand is projected to continue despite overwhelming supply. Gases see little change as astatine continues to dominate the market. Sources around Crusader are consistently drained, and large trade ships are encouraged to visit Ida near Hurston for larger quantities. Astatine rose as high as 7.90 in the Crusader system, with deposits on Ida sticking to the base price of 7 UEC. Chlorine, hydrogen, iodine, and fluorine continue to stay at base pricing, with exceptions for ArcCorp 157 on Yela. Traders are urged to consider alternate sources or routes if they find these particular commodities beginning to lower in value, as ArcCorp 157 has become one of the most trafficked outposts in Crusader. Minerals continue to be dominated by Laranite. The mineral consistently hovers in the 26 to 27 UEC range, far above its base price of 24.10. Shortages at all outposts have left some merchants demanding an alternative to the highly profitable cargo. Diamond hovers around its base price of 5.85, with exceptions for outposts on Walla, as it usually becomes a mixed cargo for Laranite haulers. Port Olisar reports falling demand prices for diamond as well, with the usual sell price of 7.35 falling as low as 6.98 during heavy trafficking. Beryl, corundum, and quartz see no change worth noting. The demand for medical supplies has begun to subside as the commodity sees a falling out in favor of mid-tier commodities such as astatine and titanium. With Lorville and Area 18 being the only reliable buyers of bulk medical, the price has risen only as high as 16.15, up from its base price of 15.75, but far below previous prices. Processed food struggles to take any market share and reports no changes or interest. Scrap continues to be a huge market for entry-level traders. With a base price of 1.35, it's a commodity worth trading on the low end. Sources close to Port Olisar, such as Grimhex and R&R Crew L1, have reported prices as high as 1.48 during peak traffic, but show no signs of slowing down the scrap trade. Agricultural supplies see little movement and continue to hold near 1 UEC, with sources at Port Olisar climbing by only a few cents at its highest. And now, for next week's forecast. Heavy trading will most likely begin to cool off with the whispers of 3.7 on the horizon. With that in mind, hot commodities such as Laranite will be easier to source and see lower pricing, with the price of the Marvel mineral expected to dip into the mid-25s at Ariel. Astatine and ETA may see more traffic as traders continue to warm up to the idea of crossing the system for Astatine, as well as selling the gas at locations other than Port Olisar. Titanium from Ariel is expected to see more traffic as some traders seek an alternative to Astatine altogether. And now for a new segment, this week's Trading Tip. It's no secret that quantum drives overheat. However, you can put a stop to this entirely. Size 1 and 2 quantum drives require a little micromanagement to make this happen. Once you enter quantum, go to the Item tab on the Power MFD. Find your quantum drive and minimize power to it by sliding its power bar to the left. This will keep it from generating heat and dropping you up prematurely. Once you've exited quantum, be sure to raise its power. Size 3 quantum drives, such as the Pontus and Comma, can benefit from the same technique, although both can make their initial jump with no problem. However, ships with size 3 drives are encouraged to shut down engines once they've landed. Cutting power will rapidly flush heat from the engines, keeping them from overheating for multiple long-distance jumps without the micromanagement required for smaller drives. That's it for this week's State of Trade. Until next time, keep on trucking.